How did we get here? How did we get here? What in the Alice in Wonderland nightmares is going on right now?
All I can say is how fucking dare you?
If you voted for that man, if you voted for anybody other than Kamala and you live in one of the states that it was, close, or if you didn't vote, fuck you.
The best is yet to come.
I chose family. I chose women. I chose America. I love you.
How the fuck is this still happening? All I've ever known politically is hatred.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with you and your mother and your sister. I'm just done with all of this.
The biggest red wave I've seen since Ronald Reagan's 49-state victory.
There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country.
I can't help but wonder if the American people have given up on democracy.
I hear what you're saying, and I do see it differently because I'm thinking about the people who are not a part of anybody's elite, who are hurting tonight.
If you were a 6'4" white man from Arkansas or from, Florida, do you think she would be losing by that much?
I think that we've got to be honest. Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny.
There are African-American women who know a little bit about being talked down to and know a little bit about having their economic dreams crushed, who try to dream a big dream over the past couple of months.
It's not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy.
There's misogyny. But it's not just misogyny from white men. Mm-hmm. It's misogyny from Hispanic men.
Right.
It's misogyny from black men.
And tonight they're trading in a lot of hope for a lot of hurt. And they were hoping that maybe this time, one of their own could be seen as worthy.
Things we've all been talking about, who do not want a woman leading them. Might be race issues with Hispanics. They don't want a black woman as president of the United States.
To all the pollsters, the election pollsters, blow me. I don't ever want to from you again, ever.
People who said that he was a Hitler lover weren't Democrats, they were Republicans. People who said that he was a fascist weren't Democrats, they were Republicans who worked for him.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business. Complicated.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of the 199. And look what we have right here. This was sent out about 45 minutes ago from President Trump on Truth Social. And he says, Obama himself created the Russia hoax in 2016. Crooked Hillary, Sleepy Joe, and numerous others participated in this, the crime of the century. This is crazy awesome. Let's go. I am loving it. Obama, Big Mike, very, very worried right now, and we shall see what happens. But hello, everyone, for the second CobraCast of the day. Hope you're all doing well. I hope so, man. I hope something happens with this. Obama, there's people, I'm seeing people predicting Obama's going to be indicted this week. I don't know if that's going to happen. But it's clear, and I like that. Let me see if I can find this one that I just bookmarked right here. President Trump made himself clear. Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and Joe Biden must be prosecuted for their role in the Russia collusion hoax. The clock is ticking, Pam Bondi. So is Pam Bondi going to drop the ball again? Or is she going to actually get something done? I guess time will tell. So very interesting things going on. Could you imagine if Obama gets indicted? That's going to be huge. It's going to be crazy. Man, Eric says Obama cannot be held for treason. He's Kenyan. Jeremy the Cyborg says, got my Pro Controller today. Way more responsive than the standard. Yes. Where's it at? I don't even know where my Switch 2 Pro Controller is. The Switch 2 Pro Controller is arguably the best controller. It's right there with the Xbox 360 controller and the GameCube controller. It's fantastic. But yeah, with all of this going on right now, man, I mean, it's clear what Trump wants. It's clear that Trump wants Obama prosecuted through what he's been saying for the past, several days. Will it happen? I don't know, man. Again, prosecuted is one thing, indicted is one thing, we'll see. And then all of the steps that follow. I don't feel like he's actually going to go to jail. I don't feel like there's a chance for that, but it's entertaining to watch it all play out. So that's what we're going to do, is watch this all play out. And, we can, somebody said this is a nothing burger. I don't know how you say this is a nothing burger. I think you're retarded. If you don't think that there was a Russia collusion situation happening over the last decade, I don't know what the fuck you've been paying attention to. But no, this is not a nothing burger at all. This actually happened. And retards like you that are calling it a nothing burger probably were saying Russia, Russia, Russia for the past 10 years. Now, if you want to talk about if anything actually happens, well, that's a debate to have. But don't tell me the Russia collusion situation is a nothing burger. This actually happened. And retards on social media ran with this narrative for years, thinking it's true, because the Obama administration had no idea what to do, because they all doubted that President Trump had any serious chance at even being the nominee, much less the president of the United States. And it bit them in their ass, and they went scrambling to the point where they got so desperate that they actually stole 2020. Now, I had a lot of people tell me that never happened as well, because there's a lot of stupid people out there that don't have any ability to do any critical thinking whatsoever. Although I don't even know you have to do critical thinking to know that 2020 was stolen. All you have to have is the slightest bit of common sense. That's all you have to have. You only have to have a little bit of common sense and two eyes to know that 2020 was rigged. Absolutely. Nothing burger distraction. Yeah, again, you're retarded enough to believe the Russia situation. If you think that Tulsi Gabbard has been working behind the scenes on this just to produce this as a distraction, you're dumber than I am, and I'm not smart. And so that's the worst insult I can tell you, is that you're dumber than me. If you actually think that this is just a distraction, you're dumber than me. And that's a very bad insult, by the way. It's about the worst thing that anybody can say to you, as a matter of fact. Dr. Professor Jenkins says, 199. Packy Proton says, I know type good. This makes Jessica happy. Mod lives matter. Hail to Jessica in the chat. Let me see. Mod Eric says Obama cannot be held. Oh, I got that one. Jeremy the Cyborg, I got that one. Vault 95. Don't you dare show us Sydney Sweeney in a bikini. Well, that's not a proper 199. Nice try, Vault 95. Nice try. Phil for 1099 says, is it okay to have a little respect for Hunter Biden now? I mean, dude, I don't know if I would call it respect, but I'm definitely wanting to see more of Hunter Biden on the campaign trail in 2028, because I think that would be damn good TV right there. I think we all want to see a little more Hunter Biden calling out the Democrats and ranting about whatever it is he wants to rant about. I am 100% okay with that. The White House just tweeted this out. They came after the wrong man. I was the hunted. Now I'm the hunter. That is from the official White House account. Holy shit. So there you go. Must be, this is going to be a damn entertaining week. It really, really is. And you see the top comment there. Yeah, you're still going to prison for touching kids and models with Epstein. See, and these are the people that are so stupid. Like, if you want to be critical of Trump's handling of that, let's have that conversation because it's valid. But you have people that are that dumb that actually believe that Trump was like, you're dumb enough to believe that Trump was involved with Epstein, yet you think the Democrats weren't going to release that information. It does show you the intelligence level of people that run with that. It really is wild. But I mean, it's Twitter. So what do you expect? And the internet. Slain Hope says, we're going to get rickrolled again with Obama. Let's see. Cliff Fix 45 says they all have pocket pardons signed by Obama. Why does nobody think about that? Classified pardons are a real thing. CIA and special forces get them too. Well, but I mean, I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I'm an expert on knowing how all of that works. But if Barack Obama is found to be, guilty of being the person that put this Russia hoax together, doesn't that call into question everything? Just like with Joe Biden's pardons that he signed. I think it's outside of Hunter Biden's. I think that they said that outside of Hunter Biden's pardon, all the other pardons signed by Joe Biden was from an auto pin. And that almost cancels all of those pardons out. Again, this is a complicated matter. A lot of people see the problem with the internet now is that we live in this age where people want instant results like the moment that they want them. They have no concept of, hey, this is a process. These are the most powerful people on earth. These are the most vile and disgusting people on earth. They were willing to try to kill President Trump to keep him out of power. They're willing to do a lot to keep their power or to keep themselves out of trouble. And so in this TikTok, social media, Twitter, Facebook world where everybody's used to getting everything right when they want it, they don't understand that there's a long process that goes into play with this. You have to build a case. There's all types of stuff. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but when you're dealing with complicated matters like this, you're not just going to snap your fingers and just get what you want. That's not how it works. But yeah, I mean, this is a messy situation. It's going to take a long time to untangle this web, so to speak. Ding, ding, bing, bing says, hail Trump and Jeremy's hairline, which is probably better than mine. My hair, I'll be honest, I almost cut my hair yesterday. I'm so sick and tired of this fucking shit on my head. I'm tired of it, man. I want it gone. I'm making a point though, because retarded people on the internet, so there's the same people that probably think that Trump was guilty of some crimes with Epstein. Those are the same people that are stupid enough to believe that I'm actually bald because I say that I'm bald, and then people on the internet say it. So at my age, I'm not gonna have hair forever, probably. I don't know. But this is the longest that my hair has ever been. And at some point, I'm going to show you. Right before I cut it, I was almost ready to cut it the other day. I'm sick and tired of it. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Clip that. Shane says, I can't believe I openly give homosexual from Alabama $5 a month. I might be the problem. Mark of Reality for 10 says, I saw the press meeting with Caroline Leavitt. Not one question about the Tulsi files. I would have asked how many members of the mainstream media are getting charged with treason. Remember, no one is above the law. Yeah, but you know what? CNN is, I guess CNN is building this nonsense up about Epstein now. CNN has this, let me find it really quick. CNN's really running with this Epstein story that they have, somebody that was that used to be connected or dated Epstein or some shit like that. Right here. Okay. And of course, Twitter is not working. New Trump accuser recruited by CNN says Epstein inherited Trump in the divorce and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. What? All right, come on. Why won't this work? Refresh. Dude, Twitter is a piece of shit. God, why can't it just work? Why can't it just work? Now I've got to dig and find this. So that was 3 hours ago that they posted this. Jesus. I don't even know why. Here we go. Share this instead. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Oh my God. I truly don't understand how Twitter is such a pile of shit.
So, Maria, when you talk about the closeness of the relationship, when you were working for Epstein, you say that he was present very regularly. How close were they, as far as you were able to tell?
Well, like Epstein said, he inherited him in the divorce. You know, he said, basically, you're going to see us together all the time. We're fixtures, because in the divorce, I inherited Trump and Ghislaine inherited Ivana. So he said, you're not going to see him at the house the way you see Ivana, and you're not going to see her at the offices the way you see Trump. And, you know, it was just, it was a known thing, like among the staff and everyone, that they were best friends. And Epstein bragged about it. And I gave up 30 years to report this. And it's a very serious thing to fight the government. You know, it's been unbelievable. I've been fighting 2 cancers because of it.
So let me get this straight. So Epstein inherited Trump in the divorce. Yet when Trump was president, now I'm trying to follow the logic of the people that say that nothing ever happens. So Epstein had control of Trump. Trump is covering up the Epstein files so that no one knows that he was involved in all of this stuff. Yet Epstein was arrested when Trump was president. But nothing ever happens, and no one's ever held accountable. And now Trump is covering up the Epstein files for a man that his Department of Justice arrested. That's an interesting web that's tangled up there. Okay. Well, either way, I'm glad CNN is covering it. I'm very glad that CNN is covering it. I hope that they get to the bottom of it. I really do. Sam Williams, the founding father, says, look at White House tweet from 5 minutes ago. Yes, I just pulled that one up, and it's awesome. Saturn Dreaming of Mercury says, yeah, we thought the fast food mindset was bad, but then social media came along. Yeah. So, like, I mean, it's a blessing and a curse. The social media aspect of it's a blessing and a curse. Obviously, I'm able to do what I do. I've met so many amazing people. We're able to, do the things we do with Geeks and Gamers and all of that. So social media is a blessing, but it's also a curse. Because before social media, the dumbest people in the world, I didn't have to hear their opinions all the time. And now social media has given an opportunity for the stupidest motherfuckers on the planet to actually say the dumbest shit in the world. And hey, it is what it is, right? And that's the blessing and the curse of it. So Harley Dave for $9.99 says Jeremy never reads chat. And now I see this as a new meme just been born because of Harley Dave. Has a new meme just been born? Hang on, let me find it. I gotta find it. Somebody responded to Harley Dave, and I think we have a new meme. Chat Lives Matter. CLM. So we have Mod Lives Matter, and we have Chat Lives Matter. CLM, Chat Lives Matter. What's up, laughing man? Harley Dave says, why would Trump do this? See there, Harley, you got a new meme. I mean, the person that commented actually should get credit, but they commented it to you. And I'm not sure I would have saw it if it wasn't highlighted in the chat for Harley's comment. So you both get credit for it. Laughing Man says, Jeremy never reads my super chats. Never. I mean, Laughing Man's mad at me. He hasn't sent me a super chat in like 5 years at this point. 5 years. But I do have this right here because Forest of the Trees sent this to me earlier. He wanted me to check this out, and I just didn't get around to it on my earlier stream. But this is a really good meme right here from Big Mike and Little Barry right here. Here we go. Big Mike and Little Barry.
Who was born in America? Who went to P. Diddy freak-offs? Who hates white people the most? Who gives better head? Who has STD? Who drowned the chef? Who hates America? Who has a bigger penis?
Oh, no. I think we got to listen to this one more time. This is very well done. Shout out to Forest of the Trees for sending this to me. Thank you, Harley Day, for the 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, sir. All right, one more time. That is freaking good.
Who was born in America? Who went to P. Diddy freak-offs? Who hates white people the most? Who gives better head? Who has STD? Who drowned the chef? Who hates America? Who has a bigger penis?
Oh my God, that is so good. The freaking internet, man. The freaking internet is the best. You know, that's the blessing right there. And then the curse is we get to see terrible Big Mike memes that scare the living hell out of everyone. Let's see here. All right. Over on Rumble, Snooty Mims for 10 says, my bud's World of Gaming and Luigi 34 will be streaming Donkey Kong Country on July 22nd at 11 a.m. EST. Stop by for some fun. Hail the 199 Geeks and Gamers. Hail to the chat. Thank you, Snooty Mibs. Appreciate that. And Snooty Mibs for 5 says CNN MSDNC is like the short bus. Don't nobody want to be on the short bus. Hail the 199. Hail Geeks and Gamers. Also hail to the Rumble chat full of badasses. I agree. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. John freaking Murdoch for 50 says, hey, Jeremy, hope you had a good weekend. Seriously, though, chat lives matter. Sounds like something you should see a doctor for. CLM. Let's freaking go. Thank you, John freaking Murdoch, for the 50. Trailblazer for 20 says, that's 2. Do I hear 3? Let's go. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Okay, if you're tuning in, this is the second stream of the day. And like I said, you know, we had a lot that we were covering earlier, but now we've got Trump on True Social sending this out and saying Obama himself manufactured the Russia hoax. Crooked Hillary, Sleepy Joe, and numerous others participated in this, the crime of the century. So, I am very, very, very interested to see how this plays out, what happens. Quentin says, Jeremy, will you be covering the Redskin and Indian story? I covered that earlier today. There probably should be videos over on, I think I covered it last night as well. No, it was last night's when I covered it. So those videos should be on D-Day Cobra 2 already. And if there's any new, updates to that, obviously I will. I saw people were finding a tweet from Trump from back in like 2013. It said like the president shouldn't be worried about, the name change or whatever. And people are calling him out and saying he's hypocritical. I'm like, no. He was right then and he's right now. So no president should be leveraging a professional sports team to change a name because they're offended over it. It's ridiculous. Harley Dave with a MAGA red $100. It says, Jeremy, did Krista get recruited into the official Nintendo Alpha group? It appears so. I saw a tweet from her earlier. Let me pin that post really quick. Let's look. Let's look and see. So she tweeted out that she got picked for it. She wanted me to apply for it, and I never got around to it. Yeah, right here it is. So got selected for the Nintendo playtest program. Of course, I can't talk about it because of NDA reasons, but I'm super excited. She's now an official game tester. She's an official game tester. Look at there. Look at there. So thank you, Harley. Dave Baggo says, Reverend, can you bless this chat? Chat lives matter. Chat lives matter is how Jeremy Osteen will address the chat from now on. CLM means chat lives matter. Wamen. Wamen. There we go. Thank you, Baggo. Okay, so back to this, or actually there's another story that I want to talk about. Hang on. So I don't know if you guys are aware of who the Nelk boys are. The Nelk boys are catching absolute hell right now. And I, for one, am very happy about that because I am not a fan of the Nelk boys. So the Nelk boys had a certain Israeli person on by the name of Netflix Yahoo. Okay. The Nelk boys, who the reason I've always had, like, I don't really know. I'm not going to say I have this deep knowledge of the Nelk boys. What I remember is seeing a couple of clips from these guys and realizing they have no idea what they're talking about. Like zero. Okay. And the reason that they get so many guests is because they know Dana White. And Dana White has them plugged into all of these things. They've had Trump on. They've had massive personalities on. And they had Hulk Hogan on for a podcast a couple of years ago. Okay. In their interview with Hulk Hogan, they knew nothing about wrestling. Like zero. Let me put it into perspective. They had Hulk Hogan on their podcast and they didn't know what the NWO was. Are you fucking kidding me? You have Hulk Hogan on your podcast and you don't know what the fucking NWO is. Mind blown. I'm like, how is this possible? How? I mean, I am not the most in-depth person when I'm covering topics and shit like that. I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. I talk about a lot of shit on the internet. I'm not an expert per se on things, but I'm not a fucking retard to the point where I have Hulk Hogan on my podcast and I don't know about the NWO. So anyway, the Nelk boys, massive podcast. They are catching hell right now because they had none other than Netflix Yahoo on their podcast. Netflix Yahoo. Look at the like to dislike ratio right there. Look at the like to dislike ratio. 22,000 upvotes to 54,000 downvotes. 54,000. That's right. Insane. So, they're catching hell across the internet right now. They're having all of these people like, I guess because they got so much blowback on Twitter that they brought Nick Fuentes on, and Nick Fuentes basically went off on them. They brought Hassan Piker on, and Hassan went off on them. They brought Fresh and Fit on, and Fresh and Fit went off on them. And then I saw this one clip going around of them. And I guess like somebody accused them of like, here, let me find this clip. All right, you're gonna laugh at this clip when you see it because it's pretty funny. Because they do seem like they have really screwed, like they realize they've screwed up. Okay, so this clip right here, let me find it. where they're looking like, and you know, some people are going to sit there and be crazy about it. And I totally understand that. But like the Free Palestine people, I don't really give a shit what those people have to say. But this right here, listen to this. Listen.
It's a good point. Someone said having Netanyahu on is like having modern day Hitler.
No, I saw that.
Which is honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I'm here to. It's a good point.
He said that's a good point. What?
Point. Someone said having Netanyahu on is like having modern day Hitler.
No, I saw that.
Which is honestly, guys, I'll be honest. I'm here to. It's a good point.
How are you going to say that's a good point after you just had him on? So they're really. I know the audio was a little low. It's the best I could do. So, but yeah. So this has been so funny to see how this whole thing is played out, and the backlash that they're getting. I'm telling you right now, these guys don't have a clue what they're talking about. Okay, these Nelk boys, they have no idea what they're talking about. And in particular, let me see if I can find it. I think this is it right here.
Mm-hmm. When I walked in the house, that Japanese girl was at my house.
No. What?
Oh yeah.
No. How?
She flew from Japan and she's sitting at the dinner table in front of my mother and father. She's crying when I walked in.
That's like a fucking movie, bro.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Wait, crying. So
how did she know
your
where
parents?
Yeah,
how did she know where
telling
she
my parents what I did? And so I had a nephew. Did you guys watch the NWO at all?
No, we know you're part of that league.
Yeah.
Huh?
The NWA league?
The NWO.
Oh no.
You guys didn't watch that shit either? How old are you, man?
28.
Damn.
28, yeah.
Damn. You guys missed all the good shit. Anyway.
They had Hulk Hogan on their fucking podcast, and they didn't know what the NWO was. That would be like having Donald Trump on your podcast and going, oh, I didn't know you were president. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, you can't do the slightest bit of research? Really? Really? Harley Dave for $100 says, Jeremy, have you ever wondered why you weren't selected for alpha tester? Well, I didn't apply for it, first and foremost. That might have something to do with it. Secondly, I always felt like it was better that Nintendo doesn't know who I am than they do know who I am. You know what I mean? That's why it took me so long. And I know you're asking a sarcastic question, but I'm actually like, I don't want Nintendo to know who I am. Like, I would rather them just not know I exist. It's kind of like when I got the opportunity to have a YouTube manager for all these years, and I turned it down for like a year and a half because I'm like, I'd rather YouTube just not know I exist. You know, it's better. It's better if YouTube just doesn't know I exist. That would make me a lot happier. Now they do know I exist, unfortunately. So the real name is WWF. Absolutely. I grew up when it was WWF. So, but yeah, so the Nelk boys are very well connected with like people they know. And I know Dana White specifically got them connected with President Trump. And they ask, like, for me to say that their surface level should tell you how surface level these guys are. These guys don't know shit about shit. All right. But they're good at networking. They're good at bullshitting. And I give them credit for that. But now they're facing an enormous amount of backlash over having Netflix Yahoo on their podcast. And they don't know what to do. They seem like they're scrambling. Hey, it is what it is. My question is why would a leader of a foreign country continue to want to be on with American podcasters? I think most of you already know the answer to that question. But the fact that he's doing interviews with big podcasts in the United States, it just shows that he's trying to manipulate the narrative. And this is what people don't like. So Anyway, let me catch up here. Deathu says, Jeremy making fun of the Nelk boys' wrestling knowledge, but he employs Beardo for his wrestling streams. This is true. But Beardo doesn't act like he knows wrestling. And if we ever got an interview with Hulk Hogan, I wouldn't have Beardo do it. Sec199 says, tell us you don't know history without saying you don't know history. Nelk boy fail. Definitely. Big time. Mod Eric says, Beardo loves the new Pedro Fantastic Four cup. Slain Hope says, Hunter is like actually batshit crazy Alex Jones. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Hunter Biden has the same mannerisms like his dad, including his use of by the way and pitch of his voice, like father, like son, but with the coke. Shronky says, make Stephen Miller the AG and you will see people go to jail. Well, we had our chance to have Matt Gaetz, and that didn't work out, unfortunately. Bird Up says, if you grow your hair out, you'll end up looking like Sebastian Bach from Skid Row. Think of all the groupies G&G will get. When you see me turn my head, you can see my hair growing out like big time. I don't know if you can see that, but I'm trying to keep it back where you can't see it for the most part. Little Orphan Funkhauser says, Jeremy says, drowning because he likes the extra D. Mod Eric says, professional streamer, do not try this at home. Exactly. Mike Hill says, ain't it cute, the late night talk show host coming together to support newly canceled Stephen Colbert? I heard about that. Not going to work. Nobody cares about him. Mark of Reality says, social media is great, is a great way for stupid people to identify themselves. Thank God I'm not one of them. Ruben Haynes says, all good things come in pairs. Sydney Sweeney Tits and CobraCast. Hail the 199. Hail. Alex Arrow Cave says, my CobraCast shirt looks awesome. Actually, let me show that because I think I liked your tweet earlier. Let's see. Yeah, look at here, man. Look at our boy Alex rocking the CobraCast shirt. Hell yeah. Finally, after a month, the badass CobraCast shirt has arrived. Hail the 199. Hail the snake pit. I see a lot of you are asking us to put those back in the store now. You didn't get one, did you? Hail to you, though, brother. And he's rocking the MAGA hat as well. So badass indeed. So good shit, man. Happy you finally got it. Solo Felix says, to be frank, Beardo wouldn't have known about the NWO either. Well, that's true, but Beardo wouldn't be hosting a fucking podcast with Hulk Hogan. Or I would have been on there so that I could have talked about the NWO with Hulk Hogan and the glory days back in the day with Hulk and Macho Man and Ultimate Warrior and all of that. Just a dude on the phone says, that would be like Jeremy going on. Let's see. That would be like having Jeremy on and going, I didn't know you were a fig. All right. So next up, I had another thing that I had pulled up here for, let's see. I don't know what that one is. So Charlie Kirk says Hunter Biden confessed. Charlie Kirk says Hunter Biden just confessed.
Instead of going to rehab, Hunter Biden wanted to basically go to confession in front of all of us. It's just the whole thing is so interesting to show how the Democrat Party actually operates, because we as conservatives, we like to think the Democrat Party is always very unified. They don't fight amongst themselves. They just fight a lot more in private and secret, and they rarely will come to the surface like this. And so in some ways, it was actually very uplifting and very encouraging to see how much of a disorganized mess they were last summer. And they knew that no matter who they put up against President Trump, no matter who they put up against this unstoppable movement, they were going to lose. But I don't know. I don't think Hunter Biden has much of his political future. Instead of going to rehab, Hunter Biden wanted to...
They were completely confused. Because, I mean, if you've missed it earlier, like he goes off. Like right here, Hunter Biden just cooked for 5 minutes straight, calling out the Democratic establishment for turning its back on Joe Biden. So listen to him.
The intelligentsia of the Democratic Party, with 2020 hindsight, believes that Joe Biden should have considered not running again because of their perception that he was too old. And so then the drumbeat began. in the New York Post the New York Times, on a near daily basis, egged on by the Pod Save America saviors of the Democratic Party, with four white millionaires that are dining out on their.
Well, I mean, ultimately, what truly happened is that you guys cheated in 2020 and you couldn't do it again in 2024 because everybody was on to what you were doing. That's essentially what happened, because nobody with a working brain actually believes that Joe Biden got 81 million votes. Okay. No one believes this. And you knew you couldn't get away with it again. That is the truth of it. Harley Dave says, Jeremy never beat Contra NES. You know what's crazy? And yes, I did beat Contra NES, but to show you how modern gaming has destroyed, like gaming from a perspective. This is like a year ago, but I tried to play Contra. Dude, I was terrible. Like, Contra is difficult. So is the first Ninja Turtles. And so, like, a lot of these games are super, super difficult. The Star Wars games, Battletoads. Playing Contra now, good Lord, dude. I was dog shit at it because modern gaming is just so bad.
Under association with Barack Obama from 16 years ago, living in Beverly fucking Hills, telling the rest of the world what black voters in South Carolina really want, or what the women in the waitress living outside of Green Bay, Wisconsin really believes. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, I can't believe that we do this over and over again.
Yeah.
Or I hear Rahm Emanuel is going to run for president. What a fucking, David Axelrod's going to run his campaign for him. That's like, oh boy, there's the end.
Hunter 2028. I'm telling you right now, give me Hunter 2028. I want to see this man on the campaign trail. I want to see him giving speeches. I want to cover it.
Sir, there's the fucking answer. Genius is all. All the things that they want. You remember this, is that everybody talks about Joe Biden now as if he was somehow the choice of the Democratic Party. Bullshit. We lost Iowa. We lost New Hampshire. We came in second in Nevada. David Plouffe and David Axelrod went on TV. They said that there's no way Joe Biden can get the nomination, not a chance in the world. Mike Bloomberg is going to crush him in California. Elizabeth Warren's going to beat him in Massachusetts. There's going to get wiped out in Texas. He doesn't have the money to run. A lot of rural voters said, fuck you, we love Joe. A lot of urban voters said, fuck you, we love Joe. And they voted for him overwhelmingly. And not only that, everybody said, well, he'll never be able to beat Trump. And then they said, well, he'll never bring us out of COVID. And then he said, he'll never be able to pass bipartisan legislation. And he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about. And he's living in a different generation. And he's living in a past time. And over again, David Axelrod would go on and say,
dude, he's just going off on everybody. It's absolutely awesome. I freaking love this, man. Please, Hunter Biden 2028. Make it happen. Harley Dave says, Jeremy never beat Kid Icarus on NES. I don't know if I did or not. I obviously I played it and owned that game. Did I beat it? I can't remember.
The thing about the president is that he is just a man who time has passed by, and he doesn't understand Congress. We passed bipartisan legislation more than any presidents in Lyndon B. Johnson, and who had a supermajority in both the House and the Senate with Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. And who did that? That didn't happen by magic. That didn't happen in the Obama administration. That happened because Joe Biden got on the phone with Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin and Chuck Schumer and the rest of the party and Republicans in the party, and he passed a fucking bill because Mitch McConnell didn't stand in the way like he did to every other president other than Joe Biden. And he got it done. He did it. Him alone. And then they said, well, look, it's all going to come down to this State of the Union speech. It's going to come down to the State of the Union speech. That was it. And he knocks it out of the park.
And it was that one debate that caused the full backslide.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times.
Yeah.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Is that supposed to be a good thing? You just made the case for why he didn't deserve to be. What? That's not a good thing, Hunter.
That caused the full backslide.
Yeah, down to this State of the Union speech. Going to come down to the State of the Union speech. That was it. And he knocks it out of the park.
And it was that one debate that caused the full backslide.
Yeah, man. And I'll tell you what, I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times.
Yeah.
He's 81 years old. He's tired as shit. They give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights. And it feeds into every fucking story that anybody wants to tell. And Jake Tapper, with literally how many anonymous sources. If this was a conspiracy, Andrew, you know this, somehow the entirety of a White House in which you literally living on top of each other has kept their mouth shut about, like what? And what's conspiracy?
Yeah.
That Joe Biden got old? Yeah, he got old. He got old before our eyes. The people that came out against him were who? Nobody, except Speaker Pelosi, Speaker Emeritus Pelosi, did not give a full-throated endorsement, which allowed everybody else to kind of go, okay, except who came out full-throated? Progressives, AOC.
Dude, this is gold. This is gold for Republicans and Trump. This is gold. I can't believe how bad this is. I can't believe it. Oracle of Doom says, I'm all for cocaine cast. That would be a grifting gold for you, Cobra Commander. Hail the 199. Yes, cocaine cast from Hunter Biden. This is what we need. Chris for 10 says, not enough Ambien, apparently. And of course, Harley has a new meme created. So now Bird Up says, Jeremy never beat Missile Command on Atari. Disinfected Scientist says, Jeremy never beat the NES Classic. What is that? I don't even know what that is. A Beto X? I don't even know what the fuck that is. Harley Dave says, Hunter is a communist, Gary, without reform. Hydrocoptic Mike says, didn't Biden take vacation away, take vacation before the debate? He took so many vacations, I can't remember the timeline on a lot of them. By the way, I made a mistake earlier. And I have to drop gifted memberships in the chat. Those are the rules. I don't make it up. But somebody sent a super chat, and they said that Man of Steel came out when Trump was president, and it made all this money, and I did not correct it. So I didn't correct that, and I just agreed with it. So now I have to drop 10 gifted memberships. So Man of Steel came out 3 years before Trump was elected. So there you have it. I was wrong. Not that I was wrong. I didn't even know to correct it. I didn't think to correct it. I just kind of went along with it. You know what I mean? So, let's see here. Solo Felix says Hunter is like Colin Farrell in Horrible Bosses. Remember when Colin Farrell for like a 2 or 3 year stretch was like the biggest star in Hollywood for just like, like just a few, like it was like 2 years. He was in everything. So Harley Dave says, Jeremy, did you beat Excite Bike NES? Bro, I was obsessed with Excite Bike. Excite Bike before Mario Kart came out, Excite Bike probably took more time than anything for me because I just played the living hell out of it. I loved Excite Bike. Chris Tony says, hey, look, it's a crack smoker being interviewed by a reefer addict. I don't know who this Channel 5 person is. He's a huge YouTuber. I don't know who he is. But I've seen a lot of people, making a reference to him. So, Jeremy, have you played Metroid? I've never played Metroid. I don't even know what Metroid is. I don't even know. Let me see. You blindly went along with it like you blindly go along with Christopher Reeve not being a horrible Superman. You think, yeah, I mean, again, you're welcome to be a fucking retard and say that Christopher Reeve is a terrible Superman, but that says more about you than anything else. It says that everybody sees you as a complete retard, because that is a factually wrong statement. So, and I'm okay with you being retarded. Let's see. All right, let's continue.
Bernie, the entire progressive wing, Ro Khanna, the entirety of the progressive side of the Democratic Party said Joe Biden has got more of our agenda accomplished in 4 years than any president in history. The largest investment into climate change in history. Just that alone, okay? And so he gets over the hump. He goes and does a Stephanopoulos. Everybody's okay. That's not enough. We got to see him give a press conference. For what? You remember that? It was about a 2-hour-long press conference, and he gave a tour de force around the world history lesson about the
tour de force. Come on, man. Like, are you seriously like going to try and pretend that Joe Biden, like, even before the man was elected, fake elected, but elected nonetheless, he was a joke. He was really bad towards the end.
Resistance of NATO, Russian aggression, and Ukraine. They said, okay, well, wait, he's got to go give a speech in, he's going to speak to the NAACP, because the NAACP and the Hispanic Caucus and the Black Caucus said, if you fuck over Joe, don't count on us. Because you know what they're doing? They're trying to take South Carolina away as the first primary state. The first time in history that the heart and soul of the Democratic Party gets to have its voice heard first, after 50 years of Iowa and New Hampshire with 3% black population states.
I thought it was less.
Less than that.
New Hampshire's got to be closer to 1.
Closer to 1.
I saw a few blacks.
Finally, and you know what? You know what you have? You have the Pod Save America motherfuckers saying, I don't think South Carolina, was only there because of Joe Biden, and Joe Biden, and that's what he did to save his own self. Why should South Carolina have the, what the fuck? I mean, are they out of their fucking minds?
Yikes. How did anyone in Hunter Biden's inner circle think this was a good idea? I don't know, but I want more of it. I need Hunter Biden to start. Hunter, listen to me. Start Cocaine Cast and just rant about the Democrats. You can rant about Trump. You can rant about how illegal immigrants are the greatest people in the world, because that's what he said during this interview. Just start Cocaine Cast right now. Cocaine Cast. That's all we need. It will be the greatest thing ever. You will dethrone Joe Rogan. Everyone will love this. Okay? This is how you turn the tides. Cocaine Cast starring Hunter Biden. Who wouldn't tune in for that? Crack Cast would be good too, but I feel like Cocaine Cast has a better flow. Cocaine Cast has a slightly better flow. I just saw this. Anti-Trump activists are protesting outside of the Ed Sullivan Theater in New York City, shouting, "Colbert stays, Trump must go," after Trump celebrated Colbert's show getting canceled. Some can be seen holding 8647 signs.
Trump must go! Colbert stays! 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 Trump must go! Humanity! In the name of humanity! In the name of humanity! We refuse! Trump must go! Colbert stays! Trump must go! Colbert stays! Go! Colbert stays! Trump must go! Colbert stays! Trump must go! Trump must go! Colbert stays! Trump.
I want you to understand just how stupid these people are, and we're going to talk about this in just a minute, but I do want to watch the rest of this before we make the point to show you just how stupid these people are.
Collaboration with the Trump fascist regime. With the Trump fascist regime. Suppression. Suppression of dissenting voices. Of dissenting voices. And culture. And culture. If Trump has written. Trump has written. On Truth Social. On Truth Social. I absolutely love. That Colbert got fired. That Colbert got fired. I hear Jimmy Kimmel. I hear Jimmy Kimmel is next. Is next. No. 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 Colbert must stay. Colbert must stay. It is Trump who must go. It is Trump who must go. Now. Now. At the federal courthouse. Trump must go. Colbert stays. 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 Trump must go.
Holy shit. Okay, so Dave Portnoy actually made a video talking about the Stephen Colbert thing. And the reason I wanted that whole thing to play is because people need to understand just how dumb these retards are. These are the facts behind Colbert being fired right here. This is very, very simple. Listen to Portnoy.
All right, I got to do a real quick rant on Stephen Colbert being fired on CBS Late Show. Everyone's still talking about it. But before we do that, I want a moment for this backdrop as I film this, all right? Because it's that spectacular. I'll let the color adjust, but a moment for the backdrop, please. That's what I'm talking about.
That's good.
I don't care, Ma'am Donnie. I don't care, Bernie. Being rich still is the best fucking thing, and I earned it. Anyways, on to this rant. So I run a media company, obviously, Barstool. So this kind of hit home with me. I'm seeing like Bernie Sanders, Comrade Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, all being like, we need an investigation. This is bribery. This is blackmail. CBS only fired Colbert because he criticizes Trump, and they just settled a $16 million lawsuit. And then Colbert went on the air and said he doesn't trust CBS and blah, 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 blah. Like Trump forced this. And then the stats start coming out. Colbert makes $16 million a year.
$16 million a year for Stephen Colbert. Oh, wait, it gets better.
Late Show with Colbert loses $40 to $50 million a year. They have a staff of 200 people. Late night ratings are down across the board.
A staff of 200 people. 200 people. Are you kidding me?
Yes, he's still got the best ratings of like him, Kimmel, and Fallon, but across the board, they're down. So all these shows presumably getting hammered. Now, I'm old enough where like late night means something to me. My dad has every episode of David Letterman on like VH1. So when I got invited to go on Fallon,
I think he meant VHS. I think VH1 used to be a music channel. I think he meant VHS.
Week, like my parents came and they were impressed, and they're impressed by nothing. I told them, like, you guys have never cared I've been on anything. I've been on Rogan's podcast, Theo Vaughn, Alex Cooper, Shannon Sharp, all podcasts that are far more influential, reach way more people than late night at this day and age. But for these people, including like Colbert, to be like, this isn't really right, that we're blindsided, buddy, you're losing $40 million a year. You have 200 people.
That's the point here. You're losing $40 million a year. And somehow that's Donald Trump's fault. All of you fucking retards out there protesting didn't watch his show because you don't care either. Yet you want to sit there and show up and be fake offended when you didn't watch his shitty show.
Creating one show. We have 200 people at Barstool, content creators, creating like 30 shows. And some of them, the bigger ones, draw a bigger audience than Colbert. So, like, what are we talking about? And then you compound that with Colbert openly going on air, being like, I don't trust CBS. This relationship can never be repaired. I can't believe they bowed or paid that lawsuit to Trump. If one of my employees, who I was paying $16 million a year while losing $40 million a year, went on their show and was like, I don't like Dave. I don't trust Dave. You know what I would do? Like, welcome to the real fucking world.
Thank you.
Yeah, Trump's happy, and this isn't about his politics. I don't love Colbert. I don't think he's funny. I thought he was funny when he's on Comedy Central. I haven't liked him on his Daily Show. But, buddy, you're losing $40 million a year, and then you have the arrogance to go hammer your own company. What did you think was going to happen? Of course they'd fire. I'd fire you in a fucking heartbeat. That's not politics. That's just being ungrateful and see you later. So Elizabeth Warren, Comrade Bernie, like, zip it. This is called capitalism in the real world. You're losing $40 million a year. You better shut up and be a good soldier and thank your lucky stars you still have a job.
Simple as that. Yet these idiots are out here protesting for Stephen Colbert because of Orange Man Bad. No, not when you're losing. Again, it's simple. If you are getting paid $16 million a year, you probably don't need to lose $40 million a year. I know that's a crazy idea, but apparently it's Trump's fault. Colbert deserved this. These idiots don't have a grip on reality. I'll never forget. And this is what happens when clowns like this get involved with it. People that don't care about something, yet they want to pretend that they care and they show up, but they don't really care. I'll never forget this. Back when Colin Kaepernick, remember Colin Kaepernick? Remember when he was kneeling for the national anthem and it got to the point where the NFL didn't want anything to do with him because he was hurting their ratings so much? And there was a protest in New York for Colin Kaepernick. And I'll never forget, super woke actress Susan Sarandon showed up to a Colin Kaepernick protest to get him back into the NFL. And I'm thinking to myself, Susan Sarandon has never once in her life mentioned anything about the National Football League. Yet she's showing up to a protest for Colin Kaepernick. Get the fuck out of here. Never listen to these people. Never listen to them. It's absolutely insane, man. It really is. Harley Dave says, why can't we have nice things? And then he says, Jeremy, why would Trump do this? Because he likes laughing at the libs. And then Harley says, Jeremy could easily lose $200 million per year. Man, if I ever get to a point where I can easily lose $200 million per year, I'll be doing pretty good. Milky says, did Hunter just say full-throated? Why? That's like that's a thing. Like, people call it a full-throated endorsement. I think it's weird to say that, but a lot of people say that. Trump's said it before. Babo Yogi says, Jeremy thinks Pong is a thing at frat parties. Bird Up says, Jeremy couldn't get past level 256 on the arcade version of Pac-Man. Null White says, and you know why? Because Hunter got high. Warbear says, Jeremy lost his virginity to a pinball machine. Mad Frog says, Jesse, we needed to cook Hunter. You know, I really want to rewatch Breaking Bad. It's been a while since I watched it. Solo Felix says, Tour de Force, he pooped his pants at the Vatican. Force of the Tree says, I hope Nintendo gives Krista a commemorative 1-year switch to Alpha Group coin just to piss off Mike. Jim P says, do you agree Hunter sounds like a soy boy? I hear Joe Biden too much when I hear him talk. You know, like I do hear, he sounds a lot like Joe Biden. Phil McCracken says, get Hunter on FNT before Beardo. Bro, I'd love to have Hunter Biden on FNT. That'd be great. Jimmy Ray says, cooking with Hunter. Deathu says, and MAGA is a cult. Shaky Owns says, when did people start believing that waving a sign means I have to do what you say? Exactly. Z Herb 450 says, with Superman, I'm seeing a sentiment that the foreign box office is low because people aren't happy with America. That's forever and always. If it's good, then no one cares. If it's good, then no one cares. A guy called Captain America was not only popular, but did well overseas. Yes, that is a cope. That is a massive cope for people that are saying that there's an anti-American sentiment right now. So the discussion around Superman 25 has just been wild right now. And I don't really understand it, man. Like I said, I liked Thunderbolts. I thought it was okay. I didn't care what it did at the box office. I mean, it didn't do well. I didn't have any emotional investment that it needed to do well at the box office for me to, enjoy it, or I got mad when other people said it sucked or whatever. And I'm seeing a lot of people with Superman, with James Gunn Superman or Superman 25, that they need other people to agree with them. They need other people to tell them that your opinion is right and your opinion is okay. That is a big, big thing I'm seeing across the board with that, where they need other people to confirm their opinions for them. It's very strange. And then they get mad when people tell them they're wrong or whatever. And I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But yeah, I'm seeing that trend big time. Andrew says Bernie and Pocahontas blew through 40 million within a week. Colbert has Jack on them. Grifters. Right, the guy says, don't know if you've heard, but the pirate from Captain Phillips got the Democrats' endorsement over Jacob Fry for the mayor of Indianapolis. I think you mean in Minnesota is what you're talking about, right? Oh yeah, you corrected yourself. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that guy is it's probably going to happen. It's scary, but it's probably going to happen. Bird Up says, Jeremy always ran the wrong direction while playing Pitfall. Alden the Blue says, a bunch of retirees upset that times are changing. What's new? But hey, Orange Man must go because they lost the background noise. They don't even watch. Thanks for actually being entertaining, Jeremy. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me see what else we have to cover. You guys like double CobraCast? I am going to be traveling this week, so I won't be as available as I normally am this week, but I'll be back on it next week. I will be doing CobraCast. They just won't be to the level. Oh, my God. Yeah, this is terrifying. Yikes.
Hello, everyone. Senator Omar Fateh here, candidate for mayor of Minneapolis. We are here at the Target Center today for the DFL endorsement for the Board of Estimate and Taxation, park boards, as well as the mayoral race. Really excited. We're talking to a lot of great delegates today about why we're running. I'm excited to talk about our vision for a city that actually provides meaningful public safety for everybody, no longer polluting our underrepresented communities, make sure everyone has access to clean air and clean water, fully supporting our public schools, and making sure everyone has a...
Look at me. I am the mayor now. Yikes. But again, isn't Jacob Fry the person, isn't he the mayor there now? Which is just, I honestly don't think Jacob Fry is much better. What is this? Oh no. Oh no. Stephen Colbert Show had a lot of pathetic moments, but this Mark Cuban one may take the cake. I don't know if I've heard this one, but we're all going to hear it together.
You're shiny, orange, and empty inside. I'd say you're a traffic cone, but I would swerve to avoid a traffic curb.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark, Cuban.
Donald, do you know that to be be a billionaire, you have to have the billion part in your bank account, not just the air.
Fucking hell, dude. Like, what? What are we doing?
Air.
Tom, you just fell into the shark tank.
Donald, I know you have no shot with Hispanics because there's no way in hell you're getting the Cuban vote. Donald, the only way you're worth 10 billion is if I paid you $9.5 billion to wash my balls.
This is not okay. It's just not.
Oh my God. I am never going to financially recover from this.
I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that. What just happened?
That was bad. That was bad. I think I might unfollow Maze more. Maze, I'm going to have to unfollow you, bro. I'm going to have to unfollow you, bro. I got to. That wouldn't have showed up in my feed if it wasn't for Maze. I'm going to have to unfollow you, bro. I'm not going to unfollow Maze. Maze is great, but holy shit, man. That was rough. Goodness. Maze Moore is great. By the way, he's great. He's a great follow. But that's the reason we played that. This showed up in my feed and it was awful. God. Woo! That was rough. That was beyond rough right there. Jesus. Good Lord. What is happening? Okay, we got that one. Let me go to my bookmarks really quickly. Jeez. Few people left and they came back after we were done with it, which I totally respect that. That's not a bad thing. That is not a bad thing. That's actually a good decision. What is Chris Cuomo ranting about? Oh, we don't care about that. Hey, look. Could this be in our future? Could this be in our future? It could. I mean, that would be pretty awesome. Would it not? Wouldn't that be glorious? We can only hope. Yeah. And that's in reference to the fact that President Trump directly has blamed Barack Hussein Obama, for manufacturing the Russia hoax. So he is squarely putting it on Obama. Of course, with Crooked Hillary and Sleepy Joe, but he's putting it all on Obama as far as being responsible for it. And so a lot of people are speculating that, we could get an indictment this week. I don't know. I really don't. I think the problem is that expectations are getting blown out of proportion right now. And I do worry. I mean, Tulsi Gabbard has recommended indictments and arrests on this. Now it's up to the DOJ to how they're going to move forward. And with Pam Bondi, I got to be honest, man, if it's Pam Bondi's call, I just don't know how good I feel about that at all. Because she's already proven to be pretty incompetent with the Epstein situation and how she fumbled that. So knowing that she is involved is a big problem. I'm glad that Trump is putting the pressure on publicly, but yeah, man, I do not I just don't see it happening. Johnny the Whiz Kid over on Rumble says Bruce Willis reportedly can no longer speak, read, and has difficulty walking. I'm sad about it, but let's reminisce on his best movies. Can you name other Bruce Willis movies you like besides Die Hard? Oh my God, there's a list a mile long. I mean, there's one. What was that one with? It's not one that gets talked about a lot, but it was. God, it was a him. And it was based on a true story, and they were on a mission, a military mission. G.I. Joe's. Everybody should say The Fifth Element. I'm trying to see if somebody says it. I love Armageddon. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. Last Boy Scout, which is one a lot of people do not mention. The Last Boy Scout is phenomenal. Tears of the Sun. That's the one I was thinking of. Yes, Tears of the Sun. That's a great movie. But Last Boy Scout is one that goes under the radar for sure. Yeah, The Whole Nine Yards is another good one. That was one I did not. Last Man Standing is a hidden gem. What was oh my gosh, 12 Monkeys. Crazy awesome. That's a crazy movie, 12 Monkeys. Yeah, but yeah, Die Hard. I know we were saying anything besides Die Hard because Die Hard's the obvious, what you're gonna say, and everybody say The Fifth Element as well. Here's one that a lot of people don't. This is one that's a lot of people are not going to mention, and this is a movie that's not on a lot of people's radar. But I'm going to recommend this movie, and you're all going to thank me after you see it. Are you ready? Bruce Willis is in this movie, along with Sharon Stone, along with Emile Hirsch, Justin Timberlake. There's a ton of people in this movie, and it's called Alpha Dog. Alpha Dog. Watch Alpha Dog, based on a true story. Phenomenal fucking movie. Like an absolutely phenomenal movie. Brutal. It's a brutal movie, and it's awesome. The guy, the Anton Yelchin, is that his name? The guy that was in the Star Trek movies, he's in it. He's the one that got killed, that freak accident. It's a it's a very sad movie, but it's a good movie. It's a very good movie, especially the fact that it was, based on a true story, with like Jesse James Hollywood, like this guy that was on the FBI's top 10 most wanted list or something like that. Really, really good movie. Highly recommend it. Yeah, Ben Foster. Ben Foster, so good. Who's the other guy? He's in this guy, I don't know his name, but he's in Alpha Dog. He's also in Animal Kingdom, the show Animal Kingdom. But he's in that movie. He's a hell of an actor too. But yeah, man, Alpha Dog is great. Sixth Sense, absolutely. Let's see. All right, so that was a good one right there. That got a lot of people talking. Not Emile Hirsch. What's this guy's name? Now I got to look him up. Give me a minute. IMDb Alpha Dog. Let's look it up here. Alpha Dog on IMDb. Actually, we could probably look it up on Criticlist. Criticlist has all that. Let's see. Alpha Dog. It should have all the information. Okay. Yeah, it's got him. Okay, so right here, Alpha Dog over on Criticlist. So there you see it. There's the poster with everybody that's in it. Let's see. So it's this guy right here. So this Sean, I don't know how you say his name. He plays Elvis in the movie. This guy right here. He's a hell of a good actor as well. And Ben Foster, this dude is a psycho in the movie, and he's so good. But anyway, Alpha Dog. You guys should check it out if you haven't seen it. It's a really, really good movie. And it's pretty brutal, too. It's rated R movie. So I'll have to rate it on Criticlist. So make sure you follow me over there on Criticlist as well. So, okay. Yeah, I want to get, I need to break 1,000 followers on Criticlist. All right. I got to break 1,000 followers over there. I might be the first person, except for, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I might be the first person. Yeah, because Mike said he was at 500, right? So I might be the first person that breaks it. We'll see. Babo Yogi can't fire Colbert until 2026 due to contracts, union agreements. 600 million plus if they shut it down now. Minimizing losses. Mod lives matter. Chat lives matter. Hail the 199. Well, yeah, I mean, Blaine is going to have the most followers because Blaine is the king over there. So, Rob says, Molly Ringwald is excited that Colbert can now run for president. He can run with Hunter on the ticket. Pure magic. Chester Wolf says, out here in Delaware County, Pennsylvania, a company wants to build an 800,000 square foot warehouse that will employ 1,500 employees. Dems are blocking. Really? That would be huge, actually. Z Herb says, thoughts on the Jubilee clips going viral currently? I saw some. I don't pay attention to a lot of the Jubilee clips personally. I see them going live all the time, but I don't really pay attention to those. There might be a few that catch my eye, but I tend to not watch them. I saw there was something where I guess some guy was claiming to be far right, but he he had a couple of earrings and he was super beta looking and people were calling him out, but I don't know. I don't pay attention to that stuff that much. Anima Chain says, Mark Cuban is a giant fig. Pat Man says, okay, even the far left should agree that Colbert is not funny, even if you agree with him politically. He's really not funny. He really isn't. Sith Lord says, thanks, Fig. My IQ just dropped. Mark of Reality says, why does Ellen DeGeneres look like Mr. Bean? Matt Frog says, Big Mike would be sent to men's prison, Barry to the women's prison. Spirian says, has Obama made any statements yet about being accused of treason yet, Jeremy? No, not that I know of. Not that I know of. Z Herb says, the most cinematic and profound movie that I have ever seen Bruce Willis in, probably his best performance. It's so complex and emotional. I cried at least 5 times. And that film is Over the Hedge. Thank you, Z Herb. Jeremy the Cyborg says, Red 1 and 2. Socrates Magoats says, last Boy Scout has my favorite Super Bowl scene in the first 10 minutes. Default says also Sin City, lucky numbers, Slevin for Willis. Yeah, he's had such a long list of iconic roles. I saw some people hating on Armageddon in there, dude. That's peak Michael Bay bullshit with Bruce Willis playing Harry Stamper, playing a father that will ultimately do anything for his daughter. I mean, how can you go wrong with that, man? Armageddon's great. I will fight you. I love Armageddon. I love that movie. It's great, dude. So, but again, it's much like I'm not going to tell you Armageddon's like this phenomenal masterpiece of a movie. I'm not going to say that at all. But again, as a father, that movie hits differently. And so that's why, I mean, I just think it's entertaining. It's like dumb popcorn fun, but it's got heart. Like none of the stuff that happens in that movie makes any sense. It's absolutely retarded, but that's a Michael Bay movie for you. But it's got heart. It's got heart. I love that movie though. Love it. Real Johnny Ringo says Hudson Hawk. Let's see here. A true Mr. Gentleman says, you said you're not retarded enough to believe Trump is on the list, but you're retarded enough to wear a sweater in Florida. Thank you for being the right amount of retarded for our entertainment. Hey man, I try my best. I try my best. Cop Out. Cop Out is his best movie. Cop Out. Was that the Kevin Smith movie? Cop Out? Am I right about that? Correct me if I'm wrong, chat. Yeah, I never saw that one. It was, yeah. I never saw that one. I'm actually a fan of Kevin Smith movies, at least from back in the day. But Kevin Smith had some weird stuff as well. What was that one movie that Kevin Smith had? It was like what was it? I'm drawing a blank. It was like some kind of creature or something in it. I can't even remember. I like Kevin Smith movies from back in the day, like Mallrats, Clerks, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Chasing Amy, Tusk. Yeah, Tusk. What a weird movie, man. What a weird movie. Yeah, I did not watch that one. Red State. I remember Red State. Teeple for the People says, my mom introduced me to Armageddon and I cherish it with all my heart. If you guys hate it, it's just because y'all don't know jack about drilling. I will defend Armageddon, dude. I love that movie. I love it, love it, love it. Johnny Whiskers says Armageddon is similar to Deep Impact and Asteroid. Yeah, those are all around the same time period, I feel like, too. But it's sad that Bruce Willis is in the state that he's in. And, he was such a badass. He was such a badass back in the day. And a true legend in every sense of the word. So he left us with a lot of great memories for sure. Great cast in Armageddon. Absolutely. You had Ben Affleck in it. Liv Tyler, obviously Bruce Willis. You had a great supporting cast as well. Super. And dude, those movies were just great back then. Like dumb fun in a lot of ways. Like one of my best memories is when I first kind of moved to Florida and got settled. I'll never forget. I went to go see Independence Day in theaters and stood in line forever. And I'll never forget like the excitement and the hype for Independence Day. And it was such a great experience as well. Independence Day was amazing. I've never seen the sequel to Independence Day. I never wanted to, but Independence Day back in the day in theaters was an event, a true event. It was amazing. So let's see here. All right, let me catch up here. Boom. Let me look over here on Rumble. Let's see, make sure I'm caught up here. True, Mr. Gentleman, I got that one. Okay, we're caught up there. All right. And let's see here. Let me see if there's any updates here. What Johnny Whiskers says, what did you think of Bruce Willis in Blind Date? I don't think I've ever seen Blind Date. I don't know if I've ever seen that movie. Let's see. Kramerica Industries for 20 says, yo, Jeremy, I just finished Vikings. I thought it was great, but it got woke towards the end. What are your thoughts on that series? I've been recommended to watch Vikings because people have heard some of the other shows that I watch, but I have not watched Vikings, and I have heard that it did fall off towards the end, but I haven't seen it. Like when I say like I'm a fan of Sons of Anarchy, people say I should watch Vikings if I like Sons of Anarchy. But I've heard people say it kind of falls off towards the end. Seasons 1 through 3 of Vikings is amazing, says Lady Aaron D. It fell off a bit, but was still good. Where can you watch that at? Where can you watch that one at? First was good. Blind Date equals good, ridiculous 80s movie. Hulu. I don't have Hulu. If it's on Netflix, I'll check it out on Netflix. Oh, okay. Okay. Litton 25 says Armageddon 10 out of 10 still looks good 20 years later, and I would rather go to the theater and see it than most slop now. Agreed completely. Let's see here. Phantasmus Knox says the Jackal and 13 Monkeys are good too. You mean 12 Monkeys, right? Not 13. 12 Monkeys. 12 Monkeys is a fucking weird movie. It's a crazy movie. I think that's what you meant. Landman is great. Can't wait till it starts up again. Yes, I highly recommend Landman for anyone that has not seen it. So, let's see what other updates we have right now. So again, if you missed this, so combined with the True Social post that Trump has made right here, the White House has tweeted this out right here. I was hunted and now I'm the hunter. And that is directly from the White House. They came after the wrong man. I like that Trump is saying stuff like this, but my concern is you got to follow through. You've got to follow through. People are going to be frustrated if we don't get any follow through. You got to have follow through. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. Now we've got Thomas Massie. Republican Congressman Thomas Massie says, if President Trump won't release phase 2 of the Epstein files, we will. America deserves transparency and the victims deserve justice. So I don't like Thomas Massie, but he's not wrong. He's 100% not wrong. He's taking full advantage of Trump's and the Trump White House's disastrous Epstein situation. So even if I don't like Massie, and even if I think he's constantly taking full advantage, he's not wrong. So I actually have no problem with this whatsoever, because this is my issue with the Trump administration and how they've handled this entire scenario. This has been the biggest fumble I have ever seen from them. And he's taking full advantage, which is what he should do. He should take full advantage of this. So even if he's just posturing, that's not his fault. That's not his fault. Again, don't like him, but I like what he's doing right here. And I like it because it continues to call out the Trump administration for their massive mishandling of this situation, which they should be, they should be. There's no way that's real. Hang on. I got to go on True Social to see if any of the people are posting this thing that it looks like it's from Trump, but Trump is tweeting about Massie right now. Okay. No, so I saw this and I was like, there's no way this is real. So right here, I just finished watching the Hunter Biden interview. Believe it or not, he's starting to grow on me. Don Jr. says, Dad, he's not so bad. Perhaps failing at network CBS can give him unfunny Stephen Colbert's old time slot. Hunter may be a star. I wish this was real. I wish this was real. Oh, man. Oh, man. It's good. But no, this is, I looked on his True Social and I didn't see anything like this. So, yeah, I see a lot of people like, here's what's funny. The Thomas Massie supporters all will be like, nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens when they're criticizing Trump. And then they claim how much they love Thomas Massie. Can you tell me what Thomas Massie has accomplished? Just curious. Since your criticism of Trump is that nothing ever happens, can you tell me what Thomas Massie has done? Just curious. Since nothing ever happens, what's Thomas Massie done? I guess I'll wait. Thomas Massie names them. Do you see what's on my fucking screen right now? You just said Thomas Massie names them. Look at my fucking screen. Trump just named the biggest fish in the entire fucking pond. So there you go. But anyway, I just think that's really funny from the Thomas Massie crowd to always go, nothing ever happens. I support Massie. And it's like, Massie has literally done nothing except talk. That's all he does is talk. That's it. Let me see. Mod Eric says, R.I.P. Theo Malcolm Jamal Warner. He should have not visited the Obamas. Yeah. The siege. He means the Jews, Jeremy. Oh, well, I mean, that just kind of, again, that person probably blames every problem in their life on the Jews. So that's their thing, is like, you're willing to support somebody who's accomplished absolutely nothing except say Jews bad, then okay. Then that's the line for you. Okay. I kind of like having a guy that's exposing the deep state. I kind of like having a guy who's turned the economy around. I kind of like the guy that's, stopped the illegal invasion over the southern border. The same wall that Thomas Massey voted against in Trump's first term. Yeah, I kind of like having Trump, stopping illegal immigration into our country so that, I'm constantly not feeling like I'm in a different country, in my own country. But hey, Thomas Massey said the Jews are bad. So, okay. That's every problem in your life is surrounded by that. Go for it. But that's why I try to make sure that the people that are on that side of it, because they seem to think that I was close, like Jeremy's about to wake up and realize that the Jews are controlling everything. And I just want to make sure you understand that I am too stupid to realize that. Okay. I'm not smart enough to understand the complexity of the issue. So you should probably stop watching. I'm just too dumb to understand it. So, there's better podcasters out there for that. I'm not one of them. Just to be clear. And I need to make sure that check came in from, yep. Okay. Yep. Check cleared. We're good. Yeah. I'm going to keep saying that. Let me see here. Okay. Good Lord, man. It's so fun trolling these weirdos. The worst thing you can do is demand that I believe what you believe, because I will actively do the exact opposite just to piss you off, just so you can say the things that I want you to say, which is Jeremy just is too scared, or he's too dumb to realize it, or he doesn't understand the complexities going on. And you're right. You are right. I don't get it. I just don't understand the complexities going on, and I'll never understand it. So at least we've established that. But one thing we have established, and I talked about it a little bit earlier, man, look at this. Netflix, Yahoo, they're still catching hell. 50,000 likes right now, 2.9 million. These guys are catching holy hell right now. And I'm glad that they are. I'm glad that they are. I truly was not trying to segue into this, because earlier I just talked about how much I don't like Netflix Yahoo, yet apparently I'm an Israel sympathizer by the anti-Israel crowd, even though I say I can't stand this guy, and that the Nelk boys had him on, and they're getting absolutely destroyed right now. Right now, the like to dislike ratio is now 66,000. I don't know how you look this up, or if people have the ability to look this up. Have the Nelk boys ever gotten ratioed on any of their videos? Now, the only reason I know who the Nelk boys are is because they interviewed President Trump during the election, and Dana White got that set up. I didn't know who they were until they did that interview. And apparently they've got 2.9 million or 2.19 million subscribers. They've got a huge podcast. Have they ever been ratioed? And I don't think they have. But do you know what this reminds me of? God, what's her name? What's her name? The girl that interviewed Kamala Harris. She used to be a Barstool. Call Her Daddy. That's it. Call Her Daddy podcast, right? And she interviewed Kamala Harris. Let's see. I gotta. Did they unlist it? Kamala Harris. Here it is. Oh wait, no, did they take it down? No, they didn't. Okay, so 9 months ago, she interviewed Kamala. Look at the ratio. 19,000 upvotes to 126,000 downvotes. Okay. She played the victim on this when her audience rejected her, because everyone saw through this. That's what's happening to the Nelk boys right now. The Nelk boys are catching holy hell right now, and they're finding out just how unpopular Netflix Yahoo is. And now they're doing damage control. So as I've said, they've brought on Nick Fuentes. They brought on Myron Gaines. By the way, I met Myron at the RNC. He had no fucking clue who I was. It was funny as shit. But I met him with Elijah Schaefer. Yeah, it was yeah. And who else? There was somebody else there too. I can't remember, but that was at the RNC. And so then they had Hassan on and someone else. I can't remember who, but they're doing the best damage control they can right now. And again, as I said earlier about the Nelk boys, I think they're idiots. I think they're retards. I think they are very, like, I say this as someone that is surface level myself on a lot of stuff, but like the Nelk boys make me look like a deep intellectual for how surface level they are. They don't know shit about shit. They don't know anything. And so they're catching absolute hell. Bebop says, hey, Jeremy, Neil Cuckman is Jewish. That's how you know how it's done, weirdos. You may have me convinced, Bebop. You may have me convinced, all right? Now, I might be convinced. I might be convinced now. Where are we at? Let's see. Lame Legend says, Jeremy getting closer each stream. Oh, no, I'm there now. I'm there. Neil Cuckman is Jewish. Bro, I'm going to start watching Nick Fuentes every single night now. You have convinced me. I'm just going to turn Nick Fuentes on. We're just going to watch Fuentes until I get banned off YouTube. I'm done, baby. We're there. I'm there. AG Zeke says Jeremy's last name is Heisenberg. He's a Jew. Oh, man. Matt Frock says the Nelk boys make you look like Socrates. Yeah, they're terrible. They really are. As a matter of fact, I did see a clip that I thought was pretty funny. I got to find it in my bookmarks. Again, this is for comedic purposes only, okay? Comedic purposes only, in case anyone gets fake offended, okay? You're going to laugh. I got to go back, though. This was a couple days ago when it was in my bookmarks. And it was a it was a Nick Fuentes meme that somebody shared. And God, it's funny as shit, man. I got to find it really quickly. Just so you guys, I know the chat is going to love it. And luckily, I don't monetize my streams or they would be demonetized because I've said the name Fuentes too many times. But give me a minute because I have to scroll back. I bookmarked it specifically to show you because I knew the chat would get a kick out of it. And I know there's people that are like, oh, Fuentes is Fuentes. I like whatever. You cannot like Nick Fuentes. You can love him. It really doesn't matter to me. But what I will say is that the meme that I'm going to show you as soon as I find it, you're going to love it. You're all going to laugh at it, regardless of what your opinion is. All right, here it is. You guys ready? Here it is. All right, here it is. POV, you're a real estate agent. You ready for this one, chat? Here we go.
And I will tell you this as plainly as possible. I don't want to live around black people. I just don't. It would be irresponsible if I had a wife and kids to live near black people. It just would be. And that's not to say that every black person is violent. It's not to say that every black person is the same way. But we watch the news. We read the papers. When you drive downtown in Chicago, you know who you got to look out for and worry about when you're thinking about whether you're going to get carjacked, when you're worried about catching a stray bullet, when you're worried about who's going to pull up on the side of the road and literally shove a rifle in your face and steal your iPhone or shoot you point blank, execution style in Lincoln Park. We know who's doing it. I don't want to live near them. I don't want to be near them. They make me nervous. That's a survival instinct.
POV, you're my real estate agent. Holy fuck, dude. Oh, I got tears. Fuck. Whew. Yeah, and Interstellar music on top of that. Like, how much better of a fucking meme can you make for me? Okay? And you got Interstellar music. Like, seriously. Like 10 out of 10 meme, okay? 10 out of 10 meme. Absolutely fantastic. Was that Interstellar? It was like slowed down a version of Interstellar. It wasn't it was a slowed down a bit version of it. Yes, absolutely. And Interstellar is my favorite movie of all time. So, Cultural Breakdown said, hang on. Cultural Breakdown said, where the fuck did it go? You had a great comment. If I could find it. God, it's so hard to find these comments now. There's so many fucking comments moving. Cultural Breakdown says, racism in Interstellar, peak Jeremy. So, oh man. Okay. So, anyway, who is Nick Fuentes? I would tell you, but I'm getting warnings on my YouTube stream right now. And they said, if you mention Nick Fuentes 3 more times, Mama Susan will return from the grave, come find you, beat the fuck out of you, and make you donate to transgender charities. So I have to stop. I can't talk about it anymore. So I wish I could tell you more, but I can't. So apologies on that. Logan Miller says, filmed a dude getting tased by a spherical 5-0 today. It's on X. What? Oh, wait. Wait, you did? Or someone? Because I did see that there was this black dude that was in a car, and I guess like the police were telling him to get out, and he would not comply, and then they broke his window and punched him, and now Twitter's going crazy saying racism and all this shit, and I don't know. Again, if you're ever pulled over by the police, okay? If you're ever pulled over by the police, put both hands on the steering wheel, spread your fingers, okay? When the cop walks up, have your window down, have your hands on the steering wheel. He immediately sees that you're not up to no good, and you're de-escalating the situation immediately. This is not complicated at all. But if you are fumbling around and your window is up and you're looking really shady, the cop immediately is going to start being on the defensive, and you are escalating the situation immediately. From there, nothing good happens. Or you could just watch the Chris Rock video. Have you ever seen the Chris Rock video? That's a really good video. Chris Rock Police. You ever seen it? Here it is.
Community, myself, often worry that we might be a victim of police brutality. So, as a public service, the Chris Rock Show proudly presents this educational video. Have you ever been face to face with a police officer and wondered, is he about to kick my ass?
He absolutely would disavow this video today. Chris Rock would 100% disavow this.
Well, wonder no more. If you follow these easy tips, you'll be fine. First, obey the law. Laws were made for a reason. Think of them as hints. You've heard people say, man, I wouldn't do that shit if I was you. Well, here's some of that shit. Carjacking, armed robbery, arson, selling drugs, buying drugs, stabbing, shooting. You know, you probably won't get your ass kicked if you just use common sense. If you jump a subway turnstile, you might just get off with a warning from the police. But if you jump a turnstile carrying a loaded gun and smoking a joint, then maybe you need your ass kicked. We all know what happened to Rodney King, but Rodney wouldn't have gotten his ass kicked if he had just followed this simple tip. When you see flashing police lights in your mirror, stop immediately. Everybody knows, if the police have to come and get you, they're bringing an ass kicking with them. Here's a no-brainer. If you're listening to loud rap music, turn that shit off. Blasting fuck the police while you're getting pulled over by the police is just ignorant. When an officer approaches your car, be polite.
Is there a problem, officer?
And stay in your car with your hands on the wheel.
What the fuck do you want, motherfucker?
Unless you want your ass kicked. Want to give a friend a ride? Not so fast. Your friend might be crazy. Now, before you let your friend in your car, ask them these questions. Do you have a gun? Do you have drugs? Do you have any warrants? And in case you do get pulled over by the cops,
License and registration, please.
remind your friend to do this one thing. Shut the fuck up.
Don't give him shit. What the fuck you want?
If you have to give a friend a ride, get a white friend. A white friend can be the difference between a ticket and a bullet in the ass. Here's a tip you should never forget. If your woman is mad at you, leave her at home. Because a mad woman will say anything.
He got weed! He got weed!
If your woman is mad at you, there's nothing she'd like to see more than you getting your ass kicked.
That's right! Kick his fucking ass!
Now let's review. Obey the law. Use common sense. Stop immediately. Turn that shit off. Be polite. Shut the fuck up. Get a white friend. And last but not least, don't ride with a mad woman. If you follow these simple pointers, you probably won't get your ass kicked by the police.
Oh, man. It used to be awesome having real comedy. You know, real comedy was the best. And we don't have that anymore, unfortunately. I mean, yeah, Chris Rock would 100% denounce that today. He absolutely would. And that's sad, but that's where we are, unfortunately. That's good shit. Let's see. Jared the American says, ever watched Full Metal Jacket, Jeremy? A long time ago. I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket in forever. But, I mean, yeah, that movie's old. Is it older than me? It's close. Random commenter dude says, yo, Tim Dillon just did an emergency podcast with Alex Jones tonight. You got to watch. I saw some of the clips on my Twitter feed. So I will check that one out for sure. Wait, what is this? So it's weird, man. They heard me mention Jubilee and it shows up on my Twitter feed. So Catholic commentator has been fired from his job after his appearance on Jubilee debate. So I don't know what's going on. I've been seeing these clips going crazy, but I don't know the context of any of this. So I'm not sure. Jerome Powell, chair of the Federal Reserve, to deliver a speech tomorrow at 8:30 EST. I don't know what that's going to be about. 8:30 a.m. EST, Jerome Powell set to deliver a speech. Could that be the speech where he's fired? Maybe. I don't know. Trump's been talking about firing him for a while now. So, get that one. Let's see. God, I'm going to there's so much on my feed now that's showing up. It's fucking crazy. So, all right. Well, we are almost at the 2-hour mark. This is two 2-hour CobraCast today in the books. So Awesome indeed. Now, again, don't forget, I will be traveling some this week, so my schedule is going to be a little hit or miss, but I will be doing live streams, and if there's breaking news, I'll just go live from my phone. Because I expect there's going to be some big breaking news this week, so we shall see. Again, if you have not, please subscribe to D-Day Cobra 2. It is in the pinned post. That is where the segments of CobraCast get uploaded. Godzilla's Greaser says, I think we deserve Sydney Sweeney for sitting through that abomination Cuban Colbert clip. You know what? Why not? Why not?
I'm so happy you love the first drop of my collection of Frankie's bikinis. We have more dreamy pieces coming our way, so tap to sign up for early access so you can get more information.
Didn't even get a proper 199. Didn't even get a proper 199, but it doesn't matter. It was worth it. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all so much for the support. I hope you have a good night. And like I said, I will see you this week. I just don't know how often, and you won't get like multiple in a day probably, unless I'm doing stuff from my phone. And I do have my, my Rode mic that hooks up to my phone, so I'll have better audio when I'm doing that. So thank you guys so much. Really do appreciate it. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.